Monday, December 5th. Could we, Katie, have roll call, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Bergen,
Here?
Councilmember Coombs,
Present.
Councilmember Gardner,
Here.
Councilmember Drinsky,
Here.
Councilmember Lawson,
Here.
Councilmember Marcano,
Present.
Councilmember Medina,
Here.
Councilmember Murillo,
Present.
Councilmember Sundberg,
Here.
and Councilmember Zvonek.
Present.
There's a quorum.
Thank you. And if we could please, take a moment of silence to recognize those that were harmed in the Club Q shooting. Thank you. And now if you would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Executive session update. We had one item on executive session which related to a real estate transaction. Next on the, we have the mayor.
Let's go.
Approval of the minutes.
Mayor, we don't have minutes to approve for this meeting.
Sorry.
No minutes for this meeting.
Oh, them, okay. There are no proclamations.
Swearing in.
Swearing in.
Mayor, we have the swearing-in ceremony of the interim police chief, Art Acevedo.
And for those of you, I know there's quite a few who are here for the ceremony. If you want to come forward and take pictures or video, you're more than welcome to. Chief, if you want to step around closer to the dais, we'll do it up closest to the dais.
Can I borrow your, I bought the wrong one. Oh, no.
Welcome.
Sorry about that.
It's my great honor to administer the oath to you, so if you please raise your right hand. It is a longer oath, so hang with me, okay? Please repeat after me. I, Art Acevedo, having been duly appointed as interim police chief, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, the Constitution and laws of the State of Colorado, and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Aurora, that I will defend and protect the lives, safety, and property of the people of Aurora without prejudice or favoritism, always placing the safety of others before my own. That I will at all times conduct myself in an honorable manner. And that I will perform the duties and responsibilities of the office of Chief of Police for the City of Aurora to the best of my judgment and ability. So help me God. Again, congratulations, Chief. Welcome.
Congratulations. Reappointment of current associate judge and current relief judges and appointment of new relief judges.
didn't even have a chance to take my robe off yet, Mayor, so I think I'll probably just sit right here.
You're doing fine.
Thank you, appreciate it. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of council, good evening. I sent and notified council back some time ago, in September, I believe, that we have quite a few relief judges and one associate judge who are asking for reappointment to our bench. The current associate judge, Billy Stiggers, is asking for reappointment as an associate judge. Our current relief judges, Relief Judge James Anderson, Relief Judge Jonathan Lucero, Relief Judge Tricia McCarthy, Relief Judge Mark Solomon, Relief Judge Karen Steinhauser, and Relief Judge Rebecca Watada are asking for reappointment as relief judges as well. I've also asked that council consider appointing 2 new relief judges, Judge Brian Whitney and Gina Edwards Hickman, and I believe Ms. Edwards Hickman is here in the audience tonight. And I'm honored to ask on their behalf for the reappointment of those judges. I'm also honored to nominate the 2 new judges to our court, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you for your consideration.
Questions of the Chief Judge? If
Mayor?
not, yeah, Mayor Pro Tem.
Oh, just want to clarify, we're only appointing 3 new relief judges or 2?
2. I notified the mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of council on Friday that one of the nominees has withdrawn her name as a judge for our court, and that she's going to finish out her district court opinion or appointment. That's Judge Tricia Herron.
Okay, thank you.
So just 2. Thank you.
Further questions of Chief Judge? Seeing none, nominations are in order.
Mayor,
Councilmember Coombs.
just a point of order. Do we need to indicate all of them in the nomination, and can we take them all at once, or do we have to vote individually?
Clerk,
You can vote on them all at one time.
we can, or individually, correct?
We can vote on them all at one time, not individually. As proposed by Judge Day, who Judge Day is proposing to be the judges.
And if I may interject, and I don't mean to overstep, it's left to what council wishes to do. Throughout my time on the bench, in the 22-plus years on the bench, it's been done different ways to where each judge individually has been considered, but also at the same time, council in the past has done one motion to approve all of the judges and with one motion and one vote.
Yeah, very well. It could go either way, but I would recommend one motion.
Mayor?
Mayor Pro Tem.
Oh, do you want to?
You go ahead.
Councilmember Coombs.
Oh, okay. So, Mayor, I move to reappoint Associate Judge Billy Stiggers and Relief Judges James Anderson, Jonathan Lucero, Tricia McCarthy, Mark Solomon, Karen Steinhauser, and Rebecca Watada, and to appoint Gina Edwards Hickman and Brian Whitney.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Coombs, seconded by the Mayor Pro Tem. Discussion? Seeing none, call for the question.
Mayor Kaufman,
Mayor votes yes.
the motion passes to adopt item 7B.
Public invited to be heard. Thank you, Chief Judge.
Thank you all for your consideration. Appreciate it.
Mayor, we have 3 individuals in person. The first person is Zach Heaton, followed by Sarah Howell.
Good evening, City Council. I hope you're doing well. At the last meeting, I mentioned advice that I pulled from one of Councilman Zvonik's mentors, that as a politician, you will be better off being the voice of the people to the government rather than the government's voice to the people. Tonight, I'm hoping to dive into this a little bit more and share a bit of a vision for Aurora. It all starts with that last sentence, be the voice of the people to the government. I want to share with you my experience coming to this building in the middle of the day on a Tuesday a few weeks ago. We are inside this impressive piece of architecture made out of some kind of stone. It is the symbol of government to many. In the local area, you can point and say, that building, that's where the government is. It's the big stone one by In-N-Out. When I entered this impressive establishment, I was greeted by a security guard, and there were 4 police officers. Now, I should clarify that they were all very friendly and pointed me to where I needed to go, but I had to ask myself, how is this welcoming? Not everyone has the cultural privilege of being a 6-foot-tall white guy that doesn't fear the police. How can we represent the voice of the people if the people are too scared to even approach the building we work from? I want to add a clarifier and a bit of gratitude to the officers present and listening so as to not put out the wrong message. Your service is appreciated, and I have more time to talk about. I would only like to point out that smiles and handshakes make more friends than bulletproof vests and tasers. Getting back to the point, if people are too scared to engage with the government because of what they see online, what does it say about to the one person who shows up here in the middle of the day to be scared off? Will that person ever come back to participate in government again? I've already emailed and discussed with you a few ideas about restructuring the city council and the way that we do things. I'm not one to pretend that I have all the answers, but I can share with you some questions that I ask myself. What if we had a full-time city council? What if those city councilors were paid fairly? What if the city hall you came to, you were welcomed by something like the Aurora History Museum rather than armed guards? What if we could build a diverse yet collective identity through a shared history? And going back to the top, what if we could turn this place into the people's voice to the government than the other way around? Those are just a few thoughts I had about this place. I want to wish you all happy Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year, and whatever holidays you're all into. So, cheers.
Sarah Howell, followed by Tanya Tabachek.
Hi, my name is Sarah Howell, and I'd like to first thank you for your service to my community. I describe myself as a Colorado native. My father's family came to Colorado with funds with something called the Indian Relocation Act. He was given housing and furniture and health services to become a member of this community. I grew up here in this metro area. I became a teacher in Denver Public Schools, where my father was a principal. And about 5 years into my teaching career, my father told me to buy a house. So I did what he told me. I bought a house here in Aurora in 1991, and I've lived here ever since. I'm here to talk about the impound fees that I had to pay as a car theft victim. And I'm asking you to rethink making me feel like a victim again. First of all, I am a very happy tax-paying resident. I always vote for increases in taxes. I'm grateful to everything a city or a community or a state or a country gives me in services to make my life better as a resident. I have always voted for any tax increase. Not last Monday, but the Monday before, on the 21st, my car was stolen at Aurora Mall. I only live 3 miles away. I was angry enough that I could just fly home by walking because I was so angry. I was contacted a week later by the police at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't catch the call, so I called them back. They said I could come pick up my car. And I'm like, really? Within a week you found my car? I didn't say that out loud. I was given an address to come pick up the car. I went to go pick up my car, just showing up an address. That's all I was given, was an address. Come to find out, it was an impound lot. And I didn't know that. I had a neighbor drive me there and drop me off, once again with no way to get home because I didn't know the car was inoperable. I was also told I'd have to pay a fee to get the car out. And in my mind, that made me feel like a victim because I pay my taxes to have the car found. I don't believe I should pay to have it given back to me. When I called tonight to the impound lot to ask what that fee was, he told me, before he gave me the information, he actually got a little angry with me, saying, well, how do you think the city can reclaim those fees of towing my car? And if it was a $185 fee, that means he must have towed it from New Mexico or something, because it certainly didn't cost this city $185 for wherever you found my car to drive it or take it back to the impound lot. I was given this in the mail 2 days after I had paid that fee to get my car towed to a place to get it fixed. So 2 days later, this card says I can actually go to court or make further efforts that I have to make to try and get those impound fees paid back to my insurance company. And again, I feel like a victim where I have to go through a process to get those fees paid back, and I don't think that's right. And I think that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Tanya Tebacek.
Katie, I would like her contact information. Follow up.
Katie, me as well. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem and council members. We wish you a happy holidays and so forth. I just wanted to bring up some pointers, and the first thing I would like to do is thank Councilwoman Jurinsky for going to my mom's NARF meeting, and they did go over what NARF means, and I'm sorry, I don't have that in my head right now. My mom didn't respond to me, so I apologize. But she spoke about her passion of Aurora and gave updates on the crime and homelessness and other items. It was very, did Q&A and so forth for my mom, and offered to come back with presenters and speakers. So I appreciate her taking the time to come to the meeting for my mom. Also, I just feel like she's an inspiration for like myself and other people that want to get more involved with the government and become more, be able to speak up more, and to say my thoughts and my plans and what bothers me and what not without retribution back. Other than that, I just wanted to say thank you for everyone, and I appreciate again Councilman Jurinsky and for going to my mom's meeting for today. Thank you.
That was the last speaker.
Adoption of the agenda. Motion.
Mayor,
Councilmember Coombs.
move to approve the agenda.
It's been moved by Councilmember Coombs, seconded by
Sundberg.
Councilmember Sundberg to approve the agenda. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of the agenda.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Medina. Yes. The motion passes to adopt the agenda.
Adoption of the consent calendar, item number 10A through 10V. Motion.
Mayor.
Councilmember McConnell.
Thank you, sir. I move to approve items 10A through 10B.
It's been moved by Councilmember McConnell, seconded by
Mayor, second.
Councilmember Lawson to approve the consent calendar, item number 10A through 10V.
B.
V, yeah.
I'm sorry, V as in Victor.
Mayor Kaufman.
Yes.
Can I, discussion or?
Oh, I'm sorry. Discussion?
Yes, Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem.
And don't worry, I'm not trying to delay anything. Just a question to staff on, there's a series of ARPA monies that were distributed. And I know that they applied in 2020, and we're now awarding the monies pretty much in almost 2023. So my question just is, are any of the projects that were identified in progress, or did they have to wait for this funding, and why did it take so long?
We'll have staff come down to answer this question. I think there might be a little bit of confusion. I think these were part of the Community Investment Act RFPs, but Ms. Montoya can speak to the details, and there shouldn't have been any delay, but she can answer the details.
Brief presentation by staff.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Yes, actually, these agreements are a part of the Community Development Investment Rounds. And that's why it takes time for us to go through the round, do the presentations, put the agreements together. And so we've gone through those steps, and that's why it took so long for us to bring it up to this point.
Okay, that was basically, I just wanted, the public to know that there's a process that we have to go through, especially with these type of grants. And then in terms of the money being awarded, then they would be able to start on any of the housing initiatives that they have in place.
Correct. The development projects that we have approved the funding for.
Okay, thank you.
Further questions to staff?
So if I could do one quick clarification. So these are on the consent agenda. They are motions. In your backup, there were resolutions. Those were just inappropriately done. These are not resolutions. The mayor can vote as their motions.
Further questions to staff?
Mayor,
Councilmember Coombs.
I just wanted to note that Councilmember Marcano is coming through fairly quiet, so I don't know if there's anything we can do about that.
That is unusual. Councilmember Marcano, can we do a test here?
Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, we're fine. We're fine.
All right, great, thank you.
Much better.
Very well. Well, it's a close, settled question. We've already voted on it. Well, no, we haven't. Is there further discussion? With a call for the question on the adoption of the consent calendar.
Councilmember Medina? Yes. The motion passes to adopt the consent calendar.
Number 19A, consideration to elect the mayor pro tem. Nominations are in order.
Mayor?
Mayor.
Mayor pro tem.
Yes, I'd like to appoint Curtis Gardner to Mayor Pro Tem.
Second.
Moved by Mayor pro tem, seconded by
Zvonik.
Councilmember Zvonik to place in nomination Councilmember, appoint Curtis Gardner.
Mayor, substitute motion.
Councilmember Murillo.
I'd like to make a motion, or I'd like to move to appoint Councilmember Allison Coombs as Mayor Pro Tem.
Moved by Councilmember Murillo, seconded by
Marcano?
Councilmember Marcano to appoint Councilmember Coombs. Discussion. Seeing no discussion,
Sorry.
I'm sorry,
This was
Councilmember Coombs.
Quick enough to the mic. So yeah, I just wanted to, let my colleagues know, I think that I have worked with all of you respectfully, collaboratively, when there have been items that we could change and come to a better consensus on. I've tried to work with you to do that. In addition, I have built relationships with a lot of folks in our community, spent a lot of time with organizations as well as individuals to really hear what folks have to say and what's important to them in government. Likewise, as a member of DRCOG and quite a few other boards and committees outside of the city, I have built relationships with other local governments and the state government. And so I think that I would be able to use those relationships to make sure that the city is well represented and be able to look at what kinds of workshops and opportunities we can have to really build our relationships and increase our efficacy as a council. So I hope that I can secure your votes.
Further discussion. Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the substitute motion, and that is to appoint Councilmember Allison Coombs to the position of Mayor Pro Tem. Call for the question.
Mayor Kaufman?
Mayor votes no.
Councilmember Medina? Yes. The motion does not pass with 7 no votes, 4 yes votes from Councilmember Medina, Marcano, Coombs, and Murillo.
To the original Mayor Pro Tem motion to appoint Councilmember Curtis Gardner to the position of Mayor Pro Tem. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question.
Mayor Kaufman?
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Medina? Yes. Zvonik? Yes. Thank you. The motion passes to elect Councilmember Gardner as Mayor Pro Tem for 2023.
Reports. Cut it too quick upstairs working in my office. I was a little bit late coming downstairs. And so I'd like to read the land acknowledgement that I was not able to do at the beginning of the meeting. The City of Aurora acknowledges that we gather on the territories and ancestral homelands of the Cheyenne, Ute, Arapaho, and Lakota peoples, past and present. We also recognize the 48 contemporary tribal nations that are historically tied to the lands that make up the state of Colorado. Indigenous peoples have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties that these nations have to their traditional homelands and to their vital place in the ecosystem are renewed and reaffirmed, and we are called to be better stewards of the land we inhabit as we continue to work to meet the needs of our entire community. Councilmember Lawson.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to read from the Federal, State, and Intergovernmental Relations Committee. In Congress, lawmakers are still without a deal on the fiscal year 2023 appropriations bills, raising the chances of another short-term continuing resolution through December 23rd. The Colorado Municipal League Policy Committee, which I'm a member of, met on December 2nd to review potential state legislation in 2023. The Executive Committee will meet on December 9th, which I'm also a part of that committee, to review and approve or modify those recommendations for the Policy Committee. Once those actions have been taken, staff will provide that information and specific CML positions via email to the mayor and council. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Gardner.
Thank you, Mayor. Two things. Just first, I want to say thank you to my colleagues for electing me to the Mayor Pro Tem position for next year. And then second, wanted to mention tomorrow, for those who aren't aware, is Colorado Gives Day. We have quite a few great nonprofits doing some really good work in Aurora, so I'd encourage everyone to find, if you have the ability to, find a group that you can support tomorrow for Colorado Gives Day. And that's it. Thank you.
Councilmember Jaworski.
Yeah, in the past week, I was invited to speak to a few different groups. NANO was one of them in Northwest Aurora, and then a neighborhood group, and then this morning, the NARF group. And I, Aurorans are really engaged right now and want to hear what's going on and want updates. So I am working really hard to not turn down any speaking requests for holiday parties or any neighborhood get-togethers this month. I'm making that a priority. So anybody who, would like me to attend your neighborhood get-together or any Christmas or holiday party, please send me an email and I will happily accept.
Councilmember Zvonek.
Thanks, Mayor. So earlier tonight, the public got to see new interim chief Acevedo sworn in. This afternoon, what the public might not have had a chance to see was the farewell to interim chief Dan Oates. And I just want to let everybody know how thankful I am that Chief Oates took time from his retirement to come back to the city of Aurora. He did an incredible job of putting our police department back on their toes. He showed that there is a balance that can be struck between constitutional policing and ensuring the safety of our community, and I appreciate what he did. I look forward to having Chief Acevedo, and I wish Chief Oates the best in his retirement back in Florida.
Councilmember Murillo. Councilmember Murillo.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to echo the sentiments around Colorado Gives Day. Lots of deserving organizations in Aurora that could really benefit from any donations. And congratulations to Councilmember Gardner on the appointment of a Mayor Pro Tem. And happy holidays all, and thank you.
Councilmember Sundberg.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a shout out to the Build Up Aurora program to creatively finance road repairs. I live out in Murphy Creek, and there's a lot of wild animals out there. Coyotes, foxes, birds of prey. Small animals were disappearing, but they were actually falling through the cracks in the road, sir. But we're getting that taken care of. Other than that, no report, sir.
Oh, no. Okay, with that, Councilmember Medina.
No report, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Cano.
Thank you, Mayor. So first, I'd like to appoint Erica Alfonso to the Citizens Advisory Budget Committee. Second, I just want to let you all know that our next Ward 4 meeting is going to be on Thursday, January 12th at 6:30 p.m. at Colorado Early Colleges. We're going to have presentations followed by Q&A from Aurora Public Schools Director Ann Kiki, District 4 Arapahoe County Commissioner-elect Leslie Summey, and an introduction with Interim Chief Art Acevedo. So it should be a very informative meeting, and I hope that you all are able to attend. And I also want to invite you all to join us tomorrow evening for the holiday tree lighting ceremony, which begins at 5 p.m. at City Hall. Have a great night, everybody.
Councilmember Coombs.
Thank you, Mayor. So Visit Aurora had their annual meeting, which many of you attended, and then we also had our board meeting. We had considerable discussion about making sure that we are pursuing our strategic initiatives, and I know we have city staff that are going to be going with Visit Aurora representatives to look into other cities' signature events, because that's one of the ways that we're hoping to increase tourism within the city. Dr. Cog has our board work session coming up, and we're going to be talking about how land use is part of our transportation planning and kind of that relationship between land use and housing and transportation planning. So looking forward to that conversation. Wanted to echo that Build Up Aurora, and the event that we held on that was an excellent event, and one of my constituents was able to speak as a community member about the impact of that. And then this weekend on Saturday, I was able to go to the NAACP Youth Lunch and Learn at Community College of Aurora, where students were learning about just the process of getting into college, and then we also talked to them as well about civic engagement and leadership more generally. And then I also want to thank my colleagues for your consideration for Mayor Pro Tem and congratulate Councilmember Gardner, and happy holidays to everyone.
Mayor Pro Tem Bergen.
Thank you, Mayor. As I mentioned last week, we had our an additional Region 9 opioid governance meeting, and at that meeting, we were able to pretty much narrow down the projects that we're going to fund. So our next step is to go to RFP, and then attended the Build Up Aurora event at Summer Valley Park, which was great. We had media attention there, and so really happy that we're going to be able to finally fix some of the residential roads that have been neglected for so long. Also want to thank Chief Oates for his service to the city of Aurora, and congratulations to Councilmember Gardner on Mayor Pro Tem. That's it. Thank you.
Seeing no business before the Aurora City Council, meeting is adjourned.